Welcome to the course Disaster Recovery and Build Back Better. My name is Ram Satish. I'm an assistant professor in Department of Architecture and Planning, IIT Roorkee. Today, I am going to discuss about assessments in the disaster recovery and build back better. How different assessments have been conducted, what are the methodologies they have followed, and what kind of focus they have laid, and what are the good things about those assessments and what are the lacuna in the assessment process and how to take it further. So I'll just give you a little of critical review of 2 to 3 different assessments, and especially one is a global level and two are a disaster specific level aspect. I'll start the discussion from a global perspective. I'll briefly introduce you to the Global Assessment Report on Disaster Risk Reduction. This has been prepared by the Cassidy Johnson and her team. In 2011, this has been developed by ISDR, so creating an enabling environment for reducing disaster risk. Recent experience of regulatory frameworks for land, planning and building in low and middle income countries. So the focus has been laid on the low and middle income countries because the DRR aspect, the challenges in the DRR is very much pertinent to these low and middle income groups. And because there are various reasons why we are unable to aptly introduce certain technical interventions, as well as how we are unable to address the bottom up cultures, the bottom level realities, and with that building codes, the structural measures, and as well as the land planning issues, land management issues, planning and land management. So there's all been covered in this particular assessment report. So I'll briefly explain how this has been tackled. When we talk about the reducing disaster risks in the built environment, there are 2 approaches to it. One is the location approach. The second one is the design approach. In the first one, the location approach, it deals with the process of land use planning. When we say land use planning means obviously there are different processes that goes hand in hand to each other, and it goes in a particular sequence. Like for instance, we also identify the areas that are risk from hazards. When we know that these are the potential areas, whether it is a regional level understanding, whether it is a particular area development understanding, so we will understand which are the potential areas that will be subjected to what type of risk, whether it is a landslide, whether it is a flood prone area, whether it is a multiple hazard prone. So that is first task. The second one is we do the zoning aspect. Also we designate these areas through zoning or strategic spatial planning. The moment you zone them, which is a high risk, which is a low risk, which is a moderate risk, which are prone for this, what are the possibilities, what are the opportunities, what are the threats within it. So this is where we also develop a strategic spatial planning process. Here we need to incorporate to set out some open areas that could be used for the evacuation or emergency housing in case of disaster, and to plan for lifeline infrastructure that cities manage. A few examples I can give you. When Hudhud cyclone has hit, there has been a real pressurized situation. Much of the infrastructure has been cut down from the main service lands. So the roads have been damaged. The flood water came onto the main roads, so there's railways have been damaged. So in that way, the access has been cutted out in many areas. And this is where once we know that these are the inundation levels here, this might go up to this level. So we can even plan that whether we should, what kind of alternate infrastructure connectivity we should have in terms of disaster, how we can evacuate these people through an alternative approach, and where can we put them in the immediate relief and rehabilitation process, where can we actually put these people, what kind of open area, because if you keep planning house for house, and then if you make it as a congested environment, so what happens during a disaster? We need a place for keeping them this evacuated. So, all this whole process together frames into a strategic spatial planning. There's the DRR has to be addressed in that level, but the question is whether we are able to address that in that way, or we are only taking in a piecemeal approach. This parcel of land, we are dealing with this and that's it. So, but how about in a collectively, how a city is working, how we have to plan with it. So, these are some major challenges. When the design approach, this is to do with to control mechanisms, how buildings are designed and built. So, whether it is by following certain codes, certain regulatory frameworks, and how they are abide with these national level regulatory frameworks or a local level frameworks, bylaws. So, this is how this looks at the design aspect of it. The important challenge in both the approaches is, first of all, we do have the regulatory frameworks, but in the developing countries and the low and middle income countries, to what extent they are adopted in a full scale or strictly they have been adopted. So, there have been many challenges, poverty being one of the challenge, education being another challenge. So, like that there are many aspects which, and the cultural compliance, how the local cultures also able to comply with these authoritative frameworks. So, there has been, I'll go through a few examples and as well as some important points and how this assessment has been conducted. When we talk about this lecture on the assessments, I am going to describe about the methodology it has been framed. This study has composed of 3 components. One is the literature review. So, the experts have collected a variety of literature which is pertinent to disaster risk reduction and disaster mitigation through urban and regional planning, and the design and implementation of building standards and codes that aim to reduce disaster risk. So, which is one level is talking about the urban and regional planning of it, the DRR, and the second level is talking about the implementation aspects of building standards and codes. Then the second aspect is they have taken 5 case studies, each from different country. 2 of them are from Turkey, one is pertinent to the Istanbul. Following upon the post 99, the Ankara earthquake, the Marmara earthquakes and the post 99 earthquakes in Turkey, and what kind of developments happened in the disaster management in Turkey. And the second one focus also in Turkey, it talks about what kind of revisions and enforcements in the building code have been taken since 1990. So, it is very focused on the building code aspect of it. Whereas in Namibia, it talks on the review of informal settlement of disaster risk preparedness. And in Argentina, they talk about the relationship between disaster risk and urban planning. And in Iran, they talk about the building and construction safety regulations against earthquake, because BAM has been affected by the recent earthquake in that time, and that's why they talked about the earthquake safety in very particular. Then following these case studies and relating to the literature review, they also concluded with a kind of small working group meeting which has been held in London in September 2010. So, that has framed the whole report process. And how this was presented for the readership. There are 2 parts. One is the planning and land management. The second part, which is on the regulations for the buildings and disaster resistant construction. In here, this has been again further divided into 3 components. One is the legislation for disaster risk reduction related to planning and land. The second one is the urban planning and implementation of plans. Third one is reducing disaster risk in informal settlements through planning, land management and upgrading. So, the focus has been very much focused on the informal settlements. Whereas, in the second part, regulations for buildings and disaster resistant construction, the first one has been focused on the designing and developing appropriate codes and standards. The regulations and practices surrounding the application and enforcement of the building standards. So, what are the various challenges that is faced in the implementation process? So they have discussed about a variety of issues. For example, in Turkey, there are some evidences which talk about the gas pipelines, how and gas stations which has been provided in the residential areas, near the residential areas, which may be hazardous. But none of the regulatory frameworks have talked about these gas service stations. So which means it has completely not been looked into the regulatory perspective. So this is some of the lacuna in how the land use planning also have to consider the DRR in giving an appropriate functionality of different land uses. So imagine if you are keeping these, because there is also the industrial segments, how it is interacting with the residential land use. There are also other things like, for example, in the water contamination, the arsenic water contamination in Bangladesh, how it has been, people are very much prone in Bangladesh that they have been living with it. So like that, there are various aspects one has to look at, and in this particular land use planning, this not only has to do the national level legislatory framework, also because in India we talk about the UDPFI guidelines and various other national level setups, they have to take into the multiple risk, the account of the multiple risk and mandate planning at the local level. And strategic and forward looking legislation rather than reactionary legislation in response to disaster events. So one has to not only look at if the event happens and then we respond to it. It should not be like that. One has to look at a strategic way how, even if the event is not had occurred, how we can plan for it. So the legislation which could be flexible enough to allow for local adaptation based on the development needs in specific areas. A smaller plots for relaxation of requirements for more affordable land for the poor, and possible to make some more areas safe through design approach. So it is not only just by identifying the land and this is the safe land, but even the design can contribute to the understanding the safety of it, and it can actually not only at the safe positioning the buildings in the safe land, but their orientations, the way the whole approach has been taken so that we can at least achieve the safety for the people. Active counterbalances between the civil society and the other governmental bodies. Like in Scandinavian example, I've been working on the snow maintenance aspect when I was working in Sweden. So there we have interviewed many agencies how the snow management program has been conducted by the council. In the same building, two departments exist, because they have three categories of the snow maintenance. One looks at the highways, one looks at the state highways and the main highways, the second one looks at the district routes, the third level looks at the neighborhood level. So these three are situated in the same building, but they never interacted. So they have different policies and procedures for each of them, but they have some gaps in that at 6 o'clock one highway will clean, highway people will clean, and at 9 o'clock someone else will come. But it will cause the barrier for the neighborhoods to come into the bus stop. So that is where there should be some coordination. What about the middle areas, which are in between, sandwiched areas between the local clearance people and the highway clearance people? So that is kind of coordination which was needed. So that is where I am saying about there should be also some kind of balance between the government bodies, and they should ensure this kind of balance can ensure that the development decisions are not only profit seeking, because many of the development authorities look for the economic security of that particular neighborhood or a city or a particular state. They also have to consider what kind of social, environmental and economic cost of the benefits of a particular proposal. If someone is coming with a 140-acre development proposal review, so you need to look at all aspects, how it may have an impact on the water security issues, how it will have an impact on the soil degradation issues, that is all the aspects has to be looked into. So I am also summarizing a few implementation challenges. Now, when we talk about any plan implementation, first of all, it will be submitted to the local development authority. These local governments, they are the first step when you propose something, a large area development. If you once you submit to the local council, and that is where they are in the front line of the risk reduction and planning and building, responsible for approving the development projects. If someone is coming with a huge housing development project, then the first place it is going to the local council. And the problem in developing countries was, he might be a big architect who is, let's say, Norman Foster or any other who has, or even some very well-known architects like B.V. Doshi or anyone who is designing big housing projects. But at the end of the day, who is receiving that in the evaluation in the council? He might be, the many cases in smaller towns, you might find even very less qualified persons who have not who may not be able to understand the kind of terminology of the disaster risk reduction aspects, the environmental concerns. So they are trained in a different process of their daily pressurized situation of approving, and but then how these the local stuff, because they are heavily burdened with a lot of development proposals and the process, the bureaucratic process. If you ever happen to go to a planning office and if you look at the atmosphere, the working atmosphere, it's really, they have a very less adequate staff, and also not having an adequate technical capacity, especially this is very true in the smaller towns. And commitment of the local governments to risk reduction is impacted by competing interests such as economic growth. I was in Mahabaleshwar in Pune, and on one side the tourism segment has been a promotive aspect to raise economic growth, but one has to understand it is also part of the eco-sensitive zone. So the local governments have to give that kind of priority, that one has to be sensitive enough in the development. And in this kind of focus of the local government, the politicians are very much actively engaged in, they want to promote their areas with much more rich economic generation models. They want to develop tourism, they want to develop some of the industries to get the job opportunities, but how it will have an impact, how it can reduce the disaster risk reduction. And this is kind of things are very especially prevalent in the localities where there are infrequent disaster events. The importance of regional level planning, as I just said to you now, the Mahabaleshwar case, being a part of the eco-sensitive zone, the approach has to not go only at a city level or a town level or an urban level. It has to relate with a larger ecosystem. That's where the regional level understanding has to come. Similarly, in Uttarakashi to the Gangotri, where the eco-sensitive zone has been declared, so all the planning has to address that aspect. So where you are planning and where the regional level, the fault line is going, and how to plan those areas. That is where the regional planning will enable you the uniform information about risks and ensures that risk reduced in one place, displace risk to another locality. So the moment you construct something here, and it may affect something else in the follow-up region. So that is where a regional planning approach should be implemented. Also, despite legislation enabling multiple stakeholders inputs into planning of DRR, nations and cities do not easily achieve a true multi-stakeholder perspective. So these challenges, somehow they seem to lie in the capacity of planning officers to overcome the purely technical approaches to disaster management and planning, instead of engaging a very multiple different stakeholders. So as I said to you, the planning officials somehow in many cases they are dominant with the technical approaches rather than a consultative process of different stakeholders. Sometimes these meetings do held in many councils, but then to what extent this has been considered and how depth these are, the bottom-up approaches. And this is where the technical approaches dominates with the social approaches as well, the perspective of different stakeholders. Traditional separation of the departments of disaster management and urban planning is still prevalent in most jurisdictions. So disaster management is mostly seen as a contingency planning for disaster response rather than a larger perspective on urban resilience. as I said to you, we are still in 1980s in many of the cases, that disaster planning is not well integrated into the planning process, because they always see that how well at the event of a disaster or a risk, how well we can plan for rescue or but how to avoid this. Okay, how a planning process itself can engage that thought process in it. So this is one, that two different separation of these departments are still existent in many of the jurisdictions. Reducing disaster risk in informal settlements through planning, land management and upgrading. So as you have seen that many of the impacts are seen in the informal settlements. They are targeting the who are living on the edge, whether they are living on the edge for various economic reasons, or there are certain pressurized situations that are challenging them, probing them to live in these conditions. So this is where this particular report also touched upon a variety of examples, starting from Namibia, starting from Turkey, Argentina, and they have emphasized about few important aspects how to be taken care of. One is the security of tenure, evictions and risk reduction. Like this is in case of Almansi's work, where the Argentina aspect, how to upgrade the informal settlements, because if you ever go to a slums or squatter settlements, there always an upgradation plans keeps on going. So a tenured slum, non-tenured slum gradually becomes a tenured slum with the provision of infrastructure and services and upgradation of the quality of the housing. So similarly, an unsubdivided land. So earlier it was true in similar cases of Namibia as well. So when people have been asked to get some options of going there, going into other land and vacate these places and stay in a safer lands, but there are some other important aspects. What about their livelihoods? So they are staying for various reasons. As I said to you, they are staying for their economic reasons. Okay, and earlier when they were an informal settlement, okay, there is no regulatory framework has been enforced on that. So people have developed on their own whenever the need has occurred. So it has been grown very organically. But then when the DRR practice have enforced them for upgradation aspect with various mechanisms, whether it is a funding mechanism or any legal support mechanisms, so that is where they have to undergo various requirements. For instance, the minimum size plots of 300 square meters, the land over 3.73 above 375 meters above sea level, and electricity and water sewage services, the infrastructure service provisions, and restriction for housing on water courses boundaries. So that is where the zonal regulations also plays an important role, and the percentage of land for a public place. Okay, whether you are giving a 10% or 15% of land for the public place, and then only it could be formally registered land. Then only you can make the subdivisions, right? So one has to create that kind of provisions in order to make it a tenured land. And there are also various schemes and programs, like Promeba is one of the program, and they have also conducted this as an implementation level in various informal settlements. I'll show you some examples of Rosario Habitat program. And here what they do is, initially if you look at it, this is the initial layout of the Villa Corrientes, and there's been almost 13% of the land in that particular region is all completely the informal settlements. And if you want to make it formal, you have to make it a socially sensitive responses, and you have to communicate it to the people, how it can benefit. First, what they did was they identified that could be relocated in order to plan for infrastructure and services, because if you look at the identified, so that is where, and these houses have been relocated, and they have some passage for roads and services has been freed up. And that is where then they started making new paths, and the land subdivision has been adjusted and the road is built. So in that way, within the existence, without disturbing much of the habitat, so a few households have been recognized so that roads and basic services could be laid out in order to meet for the planned process and the requirements. And many of these regulations, policies or projects that aim to reduce risk to hazards can also have a determinantal impacts on poor or those living without secure tenure. Now, when it comes to the informal settlements, there are both tenured and without tenure. So in many of the development regulatory process, they don't, the without tenure has not been recognized in a proper way. And that is the reason they end up living there and those unsafe conditions, and they end up being a target groups. There is also other cases when, in cases of Namibia, when certain upgradation program have been developed or the relocation program have done, they identified the land which was not part of the in the local jurisdiction. But then the time it came into, it has been included in the urban level. By the time people, because there is no urban enforcement when they have been allocated a land, so people started already building up with whatever the facilities they have. So now when it has been included, then the urban regulatory frameworks have been incorporated. So that becomes a challenge because communities have already developed in their own ways of patterns of they normally develop. So these are some of the examples of the time lapse when it is included and when it is not included. And there is also strong community-based organizations in partnership with local government which can influence the better policies for land management and upgrading. And this is where the municipal governments can do to provide an enabling environment for DRR in terms of land and planning, is to enable people to have access to safe land on which to build. When it comes to the buildings and construction, the part 2 of the report, it talks about the designing and developing appropriate codes and standards. And many cases, it's very much true that many of the building codes which will not reflect to the local situations. That is where Practical Action Group offers some principles to guide how codes could be revised. Now even in India we have the NBC 2016, earlier it was from 2005. So things have been taken into account and the committees have tried to reflect that, and later it has to keep revising. Some of the aspects says the revision should be relevant to environmental and economic circumstances and deeply rooted in local cultures and living habits. Whereas the cost reduction changes must result in cost reduction so that adequate and affordable shelter is attaining for all. The focus is also should be laid on the improving conditions of the poor informal sectors. Participation of all sectors of housing delivery process, flexible to allow for interpretations, variety of materials and technical solutions. Now today, are there any particular housing standards which is allowing a stone construction, which is locally available, which is allowing an indigenous methods? Access, legislation should be easily accessible and widely disseminated. And so incremental improvement, the core dwelling concepts and surroundings can happen. Procedures, the plan approval should be fast, free from corruption and inexpensive for builder. The approval stage is one of the biggest challenge in developing stage. One has to understand that this process will go about 9 to 11 agencies to get a formal approval, whether it is a water supply, whether it is electricity, whether it is the airport authority. So all these agencies has to apply, fire and safety, right? So the municipal corporation, everything has to be approved. But then one has to look at a single window check, the person has to roam around to different agencies and get and that is where in many of the developing countries, the corruption do exist, and that time many a times it violates laws and regulation. Like for example, how does it does not meet with the, there's a big difference between the codes and the reality. In Bangladesh, in Mohammadpur, it does not conform to the Bangladesh National Building Code. Like you have the Bangladesh National Building Code refers 75 units per hectare with average of 5 persons per dwelling, and the minimum plot size varies between 30 square meters to 25 square meters in dense metropolitan areas. And the walkways should be width of 3 meters. But the reality is, the families averaging 6 to 8 people in size are living in 9 square meter dwellings, which are cantilevered over the water, so they are even projected over the water. So there's no plot of land where no enforcement is coming. The walkways are 1.5 meters and there is no outside space. So these are some of the reality which the developing countries face. So that is briefly about the global assessment reports, and I also talk about the post-tsunami assessment. There's two sets of assessment reports I'm going to discuss here. One is the needs assessment. At 2005, when the ADB and the United Nations and the World Bank has made an assessment report, the preliminary damage and the needs assessment, and then following up on the tsunami after 2 years, how the reconstruction have taken up, what are the various segments, what is the progress of it. So there is a second way of assessment is being done after 2 years. Now the way after the tsunami, what kind of damage has been occurred, this is how you see the preliminary summary in Andhra Pradesh by state wise, by sector wise, by housing sector, health and education, the agricultural and livestock, fisheries, livelihoods, rural and municipal infrastructure, coastal protection, and this is where the damage and as well as the losses and what kind of effects on the livelihoods, and also what are the needs assessment, what kind of budget you need, right? And one has to look at the short and medium term process. So immediately in the relief stage, in the rehabilitation, what does you need, but in the medium term for next 1-2 years, what kind of budget you might need. So that is where and each sector, how much it needs, this is the kind of assessment it makes. And similarly on the impact of tsunami related expenditures and finances, it also goes from the 2000 year wise, and when we talk about 2005, there is a 2006 to 8, there is a projection where each state has status quo scenario and as well the new scenario, and that is how the budget estimates are prepared by the economist. But then when the budget estimate has been presented to the state government and how they allocate it, how the external funding is also collaborated with it. So after 2 years, the second report which I showed you, what we have achieved. Now when we talk about the shelter and water and sanitation, so different segments they look at it. Many of it they looked at different states, what are the number which has been damaged and the percentage of have been reconstructed, which have been completed, and what is the balance, okay, and why they are delayed. So this is how the review is always presented, and that is what ministries look at. How many number of houses were planned, how many have been executed, and how many have been laid out, and how many are pending. So this is the infrastructure, what are the roads, what kind of highways, what kind of panchayat offices, what kind of community facilities, so these are all the infrastructures. And again the bridges, public buildings, roads, how many of them are planned, how many of them are completed, what are the budgetary requirements. From the health, similarly the health segment, HIV, AIDS, trafficking, as well as social care, So because many of the children who lost their mothers, fathers in the event of disaster, how they could be taken care of, how the women who lost their husbands could be given some encouragement of an alternative livelihood systems, and how health and nutrition could be provided for children, and as I said to you, the child protection, how the child labor and the orphan children could be protected, how their psychological conditions could be improved by providing a better education systems. And again, the livelihood aspect. In the tsunami case, many of the fishermen lost their boats, so immediately the fiber boats have been provided, and they have provided some financial expenditure, support to buy some nets and fish gear. Also, what kind of environmental impacts and how it has been improved, what kind of plantations have been taken care of. So all this thing will be accounted. Similarly, how the communities are trained with the disaster risk management in the event of the upcoming disasters, how they have to face, and the information communication technology and coordination. In Tamil Nadu, before that there was not proper early warning systems. Now what they did was they have identified the core villages which will have set up of the communication systems from the central level to the state level, and then it goes to the village nodes, and where they disseminate these aspects, and they train the villagers to how to operate the computers, how to operate and understand this information, and how to send this information. So these all activities have been taken up by different NGOs. But the reality is the assessments doesn't focus on how far they are successful in terms of a better lives. The ministries only talk about the numbers, how many of them are occupied and how many are there adequately addressed the cultural needs or their livelihood needs, and how a person have adapted and modified it, these places. And in other lectures also we have discussed how these shelters have been modified further because of their individual and collective needs. So I think if this kind of qualitative assessment also is there, then these are lacking in the ministerial setup or in a bureaucratic setup. So one also has to look at this angle. I hope you understand about these assessment reports. Thank you very much.